everyone. Here with Charlie Faulds today and doing my first podcast. And we're just going to talk about how Charlie become the European champion and how his life has been around shooting and how he's now one of the best shooters in the world in such a young age. So, hello, Charlie.
Hey Simon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really happy that I'm your first podcast. It means a lot.
Thank you, thank you. Um, my first question to you is: how did you start shooting, and how was the first years of your shooting experience?
So I originally started shooting when I was 3 years old. I just started off in the garden with an air rifle with
Yeah.
my father. And then when I was 6 years old, I shot my first clay target, and shot my first pheasant. Went out pheasant shooting
Mm.
um, later on that same year. And then really just after COVID
Yeah.
um, is when I properly started competing, you could say.
Mm.
Um, we'd had the first big lockdown over in the UK, at least. We'd had the first big lockdown in 2020,
Yeah.
and then we came out for a little bit, and then over Christmas again, I think it was like the start of December
Mm.
until March, we had another lockdown. Um, and the English Open over here was all set to go ahead in, I think, late May time in 2021.
Yeah.
So I remember Dad came up to me and he said, "Right, I've booked you in for the English Open. You can come out every weekend. We got 6 weeks. You can come out every weekend, um, and just go to our local registered competitions, just for a bit of practice." So I did that for 6 weeks, and then I went and shot the English Open, and I ended up fifth in Colts, which Colts for us is 16 and under.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up fifth in Colts, and I was like, this is the first time I've done this really, and I was only a couple targets away from a bronze medal, I think. So
Mm.
I was just like, I want another chance at this. I want to keep going.
Yeah.
Um, and I've been going at it since.
Okay. So you started around like 2021, starting competing and starting thinking this is a good sport and you want to be better. So what
Yeah.
was your like go-to training? How did you train, and how did you train at home? Mounting the gun without shooting, and what did you do?
Yeah, so occasionally, probably once a week, maybe twice, I will, for 20 minutes,
Mm.
I'll get the gun out
Mm.
and I'll follow, you know, where the ceiling meets the wall. I'll follow the lines
Exactly.
in your room, or I'll find something random. I'll find a point to mount to, and just move the gun about. So there's a few things you can do while you're not on the range. Um, but then also nothing beats the real thing. You've got to go out and learn the different sight pictures, of any target that can get presented to you in sporting clothes.
Yeah, and that's the thing I always tell people in Denmark, and also the thing I think that's like a very important thing to be like the perfect shooter and be the one who shoots the 100 straight and be the one who's always on top is the mounting, and it's the training at home that also makes like the 5% difference for being a good shooter and being like a world class shooter like you are now. So that's like a big thing for me to tell people that training at home and mounting your gun is very very important, and it's free. It don't cost any money.
No, yeah, that's right. It's free, and once you've learnt how you mount, and you've got a consistent mount, then your shooting your level will be elevated immediately.
Exactly, exactly.
It's just a game of consistency.
Yeah. I also want to talk to you about your mental game because it's also a big part of shooting. I do it myself. I have a mental coach, and I think if you don't have one, you should get one, or at least start listening to YouTube videos about it, because the mental game is also like why we are missing the last targets and why we are missing some easy targets. So what is your thought about that?
So I did actually have a mental coach,
Mm.
um, before I won the European in Italy.
Yeah.
I worked with the same guy that my father did when he was in the Olympics,
Yeah.
Peter Terry,
Mm.
but he's since retired. So since the middle of 2023, I've not had a mental coach.
Okay.
Um, I've just kind of spoke to my parents here and there about
Mm.
bits. Um, but now actually I'm in the works of getting with a new mental coach who used to do all of the kind of Olympic disciplines within British shooting. Um, he would be the mental coach for the team, but he's come out of that now, and he does his own private um, mental tuition.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully soon. I'm seeing him on Thursday, so I'm seeing him in a couple of days
Yeah.
um, for my first session. So hopefully next year will be really strong. I feel like I'm pretty strong now, but you can never be too strong.
Exactly, and that's also the thing. You can shoot 3 months, you shoot very good, and then you just have a down period where you can't shoot anything, and you shoot like 91 or 92, and you don't know what happened. And I think it's all about the mental game, because we all can shoot and we all can hit the targets, but when we don't, when we are on the level we are, it's all mental.
Yeah, it's literally you go out and you know you can hit every clay
Exactly.
presented to you,
Yeah.
um, but it's just it's having the confidence and the right mindset on the day um, to just get out there and do it.
Exactly. And then we have the big question, and the question I really want to ask you is how did you hit 900, sorry, 199 in the European Championship in France this year? What was your thoughts about it? I think you shot 94 first day, right?
uh, yeah, no, first day I shot 49.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
Uh,
49. Sorry. Yeah,
yeah, no, that's fine. I I started on the Fiocchi layout,
mm,
so I started on three singles and a report pair.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I had a fairly nice start, and I just went into the competition. I'd been close at every European and
yeah. I know the feeling. Trust
worlds
me.
before. Yeah, I'd been close, but I'd always had a bad start and then dug deep
Mm,
afterwards for the last 3 days. So I went into the competition. I'd been on the phone to my parents the night before, and I just said, I just want to have a good start. So I'm going to try my hardest and see how I get on the first day. And I started off with the 25, which I was really happy with
mm,
because I'd normally just shoot a 24 on every layout, which was a little bit annoying. But yeah, I started off with the 25, so I was off to a brilliant start. And then the next layout, I went on to it. I straighted peg one, two, three, and four, and I get to the last peg, and I look at the menu, and you had the C target was edge on coming down
yeah,
the
yeah,
cliff.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and I saw that you didn't have that in the last cage, and I was just thinking, okay, we've got a nice finish,
yeah,
just
yeah.
get on with it. And the first target was showing the complete top of the target,
The A
about
bird,
20,
the A
20
bird.
yards away. Yeah, the A
Yeah,
bird.
yeah,
That was your first single. I called Paul, and I'd missed it first barrel, and I was just like, I didn't mean to do that. Right, let's try correct it. And I missed it second barrel again, and
oh,
I just I heard the buzzer go off, and I had Charles Bardot to my right, so he'd just finished,
yeah,
and I just turned around and we just started laughing at each other, um, because it was just such a silly target to miss. It just shows that it doesn't have to be a super hard target to
no,
miss.
no,
You can miss at any time,
exactly, exactly,
um, but so can everyone. Everyone is gonna miss something eventually. It's very rare that there is such a high score
exactly.
shot. Um, and then I finished up on a 49 out of 50 that day, um, and I just kind of kept the flow going. I woke up the next day. I was really excited to shoot. I'd got the good start that I wanted,
Mm,
um, and I just kept going. I just stayed strong. I just didn't think of a big picture,
yeah,
as in the end result. I just kept going one target at a time.
Yeah, when did you got, you always, everybody does it. You like either the last pick or the second last pick or layout, whatever you call it. Everybody get nervous. When did you got the feeling like okay, I can shoot 199? When did you got that
Um,
feeling?
I got that feeling, so I shot 49, then 50, so I was on 99 out of the
Yeah,
first 100.
yeah,
Um, and then the third day, I shot another 50 straight,
mm,
so I was on 149.
yeah,
And I went back to the house that we were staying at that night, and I was just thinking, it's there, but I've got to try not think about it.
yeah,
I felt really good. I felt really confident, but I just we were all sat on the sofa having dinner, and I was just trying to talk about things that weren't shooting,
yeah,
just so I could kind of keep my mind off it.
yeah,
Um, Woke up the next day. I was on in the morning, um, and I was really excited. Get onto the first layout. I shot another 25 straight, so I was only one layout away from finishing, and sort of the crowd behind
mm,
started getting bigger and bigger.
yeah, yeah,
The pressure was on a little bit. It's impossible to say I didn't feel any pressure because I obviously did.
of course.
Um, and I remember walking up to the last layout, sorry,
Mm,
and it was an hour delay, so it was not convenient. But you've got to work around these things.
yeah,
You've got
yeah,
to
yeah,
take them as they come.
exactly.
Um, and I remember I shot the first two pegs. I'd shot really well. I was in the middle of everything.
Mm,
And I remember walking from the second peg to the third peg. I could hardly walk. Like my legs were just shaking.
yeah,
My legs just felt like jelly. And I was just really excited. My hands, they were moving fine. My hands weren't shaking
yeah.
or anything. And I was moving the gun really well. But I just remember the last three pegs, walking between peg to peg. Um, my legs were just shaking. It was really funny.
But, but what was your like mental? What did you think? Did you think like, okay, I have to do it, or was you like more calm and more like, if I miss one, I miss one, or if I don't do it, I will still be the junior champion because you were so far ahead of everyone that we know that you were gonna win. There was no chance that you would not.
Yeah, no, I felt really confident about winning juniors.
Yeah,
I kind of just I didn't put it to the back of my mind. I still wanted to focus on it. But I was looking for something in the top 16
yeah.
going into the last day.
You like that?
Yeah, and yeah, I shot a 25 on the first layout, and then I was just thinking, just stick to what I've been doing the whole time,
Mm,
just one target at a time.
yeah.
Um, and I didn't let my mind beat me. I kept calm,
Mm,
controlled my breathing, and just tried not to turn around and look at the crowd
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that was a hard thing to do. It was nice that everyone came and watched and supported me for the
Of
last
course, of
layout.
course. But that's like the thing you see every time. We saw it also in Spain with Cristobal shooting the first 175 and then a
Yep.
22 in the last layout. And that's also the thing, the nerves. I think it's not that big in Denmark because we are not going to shoot 200. Not anyone in Denmark is going to shoot 200 or close to it. I think the Danish championship normally is on one. I won it last year on 197, and it's something about that all the time. But if you saw Tamas did it last year, shooting 199, missing one on the last layout, and in Italy he did the same, missing the ace very simple trap bird in two shots
Yeah.
also. So what do you think that you did in that last round that they didn't do?
I I just knew that it was going into my last layout. It was an incredible opportunity.
It was.
Um, Only being 17 and missing on the first day as well, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
kind of set me off on a good roll of determination to keep going. Um, and I just didn't want to throw it away, the opportunity that I had. Um, and I kind of I know I had a good lead going in juniors, walking into the last layout, because I knew that Hugo was second going into that last layout, second behind me, and he was to my left. So um, I knew I had a little bit of leeway, um, and if I did miss one, it wasn't the end of the world because ultimately I went there to do my best in juniors. And if anything else happened, it happened. So yeah, I knew I had a little bit of leeway, and I could kind of see what was going on. Um, but I was hitting targets so well. I just never thought about it again after that.
Okay. I remember the same thing happened to me, like the same story as you tell right now. The Danish Championship last year. First layout, as we shoot in Denmark when we are shooting the Danish national. The first 100 birds on the first day is only 3 singles and 1 report. And
Yep.
first layout I started 25, and I felt good that day. I felt like everything was going right, and my head was good, and I just having a fun time with the friends on the shooting ground. And then I shot the first 50, and I was still no pressure, nothing. And then 75, and still no pressure. But of course, I got a little bit nervous when I shot the last peg on layout 4, because I was like, okay, now I can shoot the 100 straight, and I only did it one time before that. So I
Yep.
shot my 100 straight, and I was like, okay, I didn't even notice that it was the Danish nationals or anything. I was just like calm and didn't thought about it. And second day, the same as you, I woke up and I didn't felt like the pressure. I know I was about to do something. I know I was about to do something great. But if
Yeah,
I just could keep my
you can
head,
feel it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you know the feeling when you're like, okay, it's now, and I never doubt it. I think the same as you. You never doubt that you're not gonna do it when you are in that mood that you and me was in your European and my Danish championship. You are like, you never doubt that you're gonna miss because you aren't, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I got out second day. First round I shot 24. I looked wrong on the what is called card, because I didn't saw the target I shoot. So I shot 24 first
Oh,
round,
okay.
and I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, okay, but still move on. And then the hardest layout was the second layout I had to shoot, and I shot a 24 once again, and I was like, okay, we're gonna end either on 198 or 197. Then I shot 25 again, and in the last I was not nervous in any of the rounds, but the last round I got so nervous. But I know I won. I won like 10 plays ahead of the juniors, so I know I won, but I still got the nerves, because in Denmark you can only win juniors. If you are junior, you cannot win overall. That's a stupid
Yep.
rule in Denmark. But you can still like know you are the best, but you can't win it.
Yeah.
So for me, it was the same as you. You know you have the lead of the juniors, so you know you're probably gonna be the European or the Danish champion, but you still
Yep.
want to like get more and more and more. So I know exactly how you feel. Another thing I also want to talk to you about is it's not done to the last shot I shot, to the last clay I shot, because I see it on a lot of juniors in Denmark, starting with 22 or 23, and then they're like, now the day is ruined. I can't win now. I don't even want to shoot now, and get very frustrated and throw the cartridges very hard and slam the gun and all of that. And I did it myself when I was like 13, 14 years old. I was frustrated when I miss. Is that something you have worked on, or is it just become better with the age?
I wouldn't necessarily say it comes better with age because there's still plenty of people, grown adults over here in England that I
Yeah.
see do it all of the time. Um, but I mean, I started off the same. I was frustrated when I've missed. But it's done. You've missed. It's on the card.
Mm,
There's nothing you can do about it other than hit the next few targets
yeah.
that come at you, um, and try finish on the maximum score possible. Um, you just got to go around it, figure out what you did wrong, and correct it. Um, but yeah, I started off not amazing. I've never been bad, but there's always things to work on.
Yeah, of course.
Um, but I've definitely gotten better, and like everyone says that my dad, he is just the Iceman.
Yeah,
You
he
never
is.
you never you never see any emotion on him.
Yeah.
And my mum's pretty good with it as well. So I've just kind of had to learn from them a little bit,
Mm.
and implement it myself. But you've just got to, if someone's watching you shoot, you can't let them know whether you've, for instance, shot a 25 or a 23.
Yeah.
Um, you've just got to leave them wondering how you've got on. Um, I know that when my father was training for the Olympics, his mental coach, he would stand there and look at him. He wouldn't look at the clays. He would just look at him and he would say, I want you to shoot the round and I don't want to know whether you've hit them or missed them.
Mm.
And at the end of it, he didn't know what he'd scored because he was just poker face the whole time
Yeah.
and just shot and didn't react at all. And I think that's really good because once you start looking at the negative things, it can quickly spiral and turn into a bad day on the range.
Exactly. The same. I talk also a lot with my mental coach, and the thing she said is when you are reacting on it, like physically, when you're like throwing your targets or slamming your gun, it just boost how you're thinking in your head. So if you are just do it calm physically, it also affects how you think, even though you don't you're not like you know, how do you say it, you don't, if you throw your targets in the in the what is, yeah, you throw
In
your
the bin.
targets, yeah, you throw targets in the bin, the the effect of that is so massive, and we don't have anything, you cannot do anything about it
Yeah,
because
no, it puts a negative effect on your brain. And
exactly.
yeah, you just hone in on negatives. Whereas if you stay positive, you'll eventually just forget about it. And
Exactly.
you'll come out and just you want to be thinking about the next load of clays rather than
Yeah.
what's in the past because you can't change the past. You can only change what's
Yeah.
going to happen in the
And
future.
the way I do it on every target, even if I miss it or I hit it. When I have thrown the cartridges in the bin, I'm uh, I'm going to the next targets. So either if I hit it or not hit it, when the cartridges are in the bin, the targets is out. And that's like a very hard thing to do. But when you have worked on it for half a year now, it's getting easier and easier and easier to when the cartridges hit the bin, next target. And that's
Yeah,
also a way to like don't focus on the bad thing and don't focus on the missed targets. Of course, when you come to next time you got the target you missed, you can of course like think, what did I do wrong? Should I start closer to the machine, or what do I do? But I think that's one of the biggest things I see in Denmark that's the juniors is doing wrong, is getting too aggressive when they are missing. Also, like good juniors, I think that they are very good shooting, but the aggression missing a target is just destroying their shooting, and they can go for a 24 to a 19 because they got so angry and throwing the targets all the way.
yeah, because you could miss a hard target on the layout,
Yeah,
and you get annoyed, because most people are always looking for perfection and a
mm,
and a good score of 25. Um, but sometimes it's not always the option. And if you have missed one, you can't get angry because if you do get angry, I've seen plenty of people then go and miss an easy target.
mm,
Um, and yeah, like you say, come off of like a 20 or a 19
exactly.
when they could have shot a 24 or a 23, which, for example, in France at the World Compak Mary Arm layout,
Yeah,
that was a hard layout.
it was really.
And if you got angry on there because you missed a target,
Yeah,
it was game over.
it
You
was.
had to have insane focus, because that was just such a tough layout.
Yeah, in my opinion, there was one easy target on that layout, and that was the F bird, the trap bird.
Yeah,
The five other targets was very fucking hard.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm so glad that you want to have this podcast with me, and I think that like we should do a podcast later on where we are just, if people want to hear a topic and want to hear how we are doing it, and how we now are some of the best shooters in the world, how we come from not hitting anything to be where we are now. So I'm very glad that you want to participate in my podcast, and you may have a very good day, Charlie.
Yeah, no, it was an honour. If anyone ever wants me back on to discuss maybe after a big championship or just a topic in general, then I'm happy to come back on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Charlie.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Speak to you later.
Speak to you later. Bye.